ちょっと待って。行こう。Animals don't get that. They're always getting towards my shit. Go away! Way too close. Oh, somebody's mad now. Who's mad? Oh, you're mad? Okay. This is what Star Wars Battlefront should be like. Yes, I know this ship looks like an X-Wing, but half of the reason why I like it. Oh, somebody's coming in here. Oh, that ship is ugly. I'm not buying that. Yeah, I don't want that. It doesn't look sporty enough for me. There we go. Actually, I already built all this crap, you idiot. I even have a signal booster on there. You're not helping me do anything. Shut up. I'm gonna shoot you. What do you have to say? Shut up. Okay. Oh, the suit. No, the suit. Well, then put it somewhere else. Okay, fine. Built a straight corridor. Leave me alone. Oh, you know what? I don't need your help. I want you to rotate, turn the other way. Oh, wow, really? Oh. Yeah. Okay, I will just do that. Hey, what's up, man? Not much. Oh, you did, you played Hyperdimension finally. You played the first game? Which number did you play? So, the first one you did. So you played the original Hyperdimension Neptunia, right? Not, or rather, Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth. Is that the one that you played? Okay, if you played Rebirth, then you probably played you played it on Steam, right? Yeah, it is my favorite game of all time. I mean, even over Zelda, which I played since I was a kid, Hyperdimension is my favorite now. I just feel that way. It's my favorite game. I don't know how else to explain it. For the storage. There we go. Alright, since you played Rebirth and you beat it, I have to ask you, who is your favorite character? Which one? And for the love of God, John, please do not say that it's Vert. Oh, okay. You beat The Last of Us. Alright. Well, it's... What are they calling that next one? It's spiritual sister game, something like that, where it's pretty much done in the same format, but it's obviously different. The one about the guy that's a biker, I forget what it is, but that's supposed to follow in the footsteps of The Last of Us. And I think that comes out next year. Okay, how far are you then in Rebirth? Do you have at least 4 characters in your group? In other words, have you been to Lean Box yet? Yeah, actually, there is a sequel coming out to it, but there's another game that's coming out that's supposed to be its like sister game. Oh, okay. Yeah, battle system is pretty good. If you you're playing Rebirth, so you never got to experience the very first game where they give everybody like a handgun, and it's pretty much like, okay, why does everybody have a handgun? I literally was thinking, okay, everyone shouldn't just have like a handgun to use as one move and that's it, and a move that can't be upgraded. It's like, what was the point of this? So they took it out. No. The guy on the motorcycle. No, that's something they showed at E3, where he wasn't on a motorcycle, but he's like a biker or something like that, and he gets stranded or something, and he's running around all over. I forget where that was. I think it was Boston maybe, and he's running from zombies, and he's trying to do whatever he can to get away. And they said that game, I forget what they're calling it, but that game is the sister game to The Last of Us, because it's supposed to follow the same kind of design and maybe even a story that connects to it. Maybe. Yeah, that probably will be good. I honestly wanted to play The Last of Us, but for some reason it reminded me too much of something else. That's why I have yet to get it. Then again, I'm always like that. I think maybe Resident Evil has spoiled me or not even spoiled me, has ruined zombie type games for me forever. I think it has. Because if you played all the games up until the most recent one, then you understand what I'm talking about. Because at some point it went from being a survival horror game to just being an action game to being not even an action game to being like a failed project, if that's what you want to call it. Now they're trying to go back to their like survival horror roots with the Resident Evil 7, which wasn't too bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it was bad when I played it. It wasn't bad. It's just I couldn't get into it. I mean, that happens to me sometimes where I play good games, but they're not bad. I'm just not connecting with it. I for some reason I can't. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but I actually filmed beating 7. I actually beat it. That the initial story isn't exactly easy, but it's not super hard. It's playing the extra mode that's really hard, like surviving 24 hours, simulated 24 hours, and finding like anything that you can pretty much get your hands on, and then fighting swarms of zombies and whatever else shows up randomly. That was pretty hard. Oh yeah, 6 was awful. They tried to do everything in 6, and it was so dumb. It was like, because they made everybody think they were going to do something brand new, and all they did was jumble up a bunch of different styles and things that they've done previously. It was like, what's the purpose of this? The only saving grace for that game, in my opinion, is the fact that Ada Wong is in it and she has her own story. I have never liked Chris, not really at least, and they're trying to put the entire series on his shoulders, and they switched from doing that with Leon. Leon was okay, but they're overusing some of these characters too much. They just are. So that's why I feel like, well, maybe it's time that I let Resident Evil go. Yes, thank God somebody else feels the same way. Chris is a terrible character. He's too cliche. He's too... Oh, you like... Wait a minute. You like Chris or you don't like him? Oh, they're never gonna... Oh, Claire... Yeah, I like Claire too. Claire's alright. I think the reason I like Claire is because they never really use her that much. But in Revelations 2, she's the main character. I did like that. They're never bringing Ashley back. Well, they could. I mean, her father is dead, so they could bring her back. Oh, you took off. So you actually like Chris? Or do you like Leon? Because Leon is in 4. 5 is when Chris is actually one half of the main character, or the protagonist, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Leon is okay. I'll give them credit for 4 because 4 was pretty damn good. I mean, literally, it's still up there among one of my favorite games, but it's not my favorite Resident Evil. 5 actually is my favorite Resident Evil, but I refuse to play Chris. I will not touch his... I've only played Chris a total of twice. I played him once on the PS3 so I can get through his campaign. I played him once on the PS4 here so I can get through his campaign. And that's it. I play Sheva every time I turn on Resident Evil 5. I don't care for Chris at all. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm like. It's like, why don't they bring Jill back? You want to put somebody up there as the main character? Put Jill back in the... It started with her. I mean, you had to play Jill's campaign in the first game to get through the game. Why not just bring her back? Yeah, I literally cannot stand him. He's just way too cliche and too he's too predictable. Leon wasn't really all that predictable, but they did him wrong in Resident Evil 6. With Chris's campaign, I expected that stuff, so I was like, yeah, I knew they were going to do that with Chris. But with Leon, it was like, I thought they were going to do something else. Exactly, but exactly, he's like that kind of guy. And it's like, does this series need a character like him? Hell, you could have been better off just putting somebody that actually no, putting somebody in that whines too much would have been a problem. Technically, that's what they do in his campaign, because his partner does nothing but whine and bitch and moan. It's like, dude, shut up. Trying to play the game, and he's sitting there the whole time. Should we be doing this? Don't you want to do that? And I'm like, dude, I know what to do. I don't need you to tell me how to do it. Okay, why am I even in here? Oh yeah, I remember what I'm doing. All right. It would be interesting to put her back in, but I don't know, man, because actually it would be very interesting to put her back in. Yeah, actually that would be kind of funny if they put her back in, and at some point Leon joins up with her, and then Ada again. I would actually like that. That would be alright. Yeah, actually, it would be a good story. Okay, where are we going? You know what? If that was the case where Ashley is older and she has training under her belt and experience, and she blames Leon, because I don't know if you've seen Resident Evil Revelations 2, but in that game the president does actually die, and since that's Ashley's father, it would be awesome if they could show up in another game and she blamed him for her father's death, because since he's the one that killed him. I mean, he had to. The guy was a zombie. But she blames him and they fight. You know how awesome that would be for a story, for a plot? That'd be pretty good. Yeah, that's in Revelations 2. That's on the PS4. But I really didn't spoil anything for you because it's right at the beginning. All of that stuff. Yeah, he got infected, yes. I mean, you pretty much, that's the first thing Leon has to do in that game. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting this stuff mixed up. That's not Revelations 2. That's Resident Evil 6. Yeah. In 6, that's what happens. That's right, yeah. Leon's campaign starts like that in Resident Evil 6, where he has to kill the president because he's infected. And then, what's that other chick's name? Helena. She's talking about how she has to get Leon to the cathedral and won't tell him why, which pissed me off, because I'm like, lady, you want help? Okay, just tell him why you want help instead of telling him, you wouldn't believe me if I told you we have to get to the cathedral. Instead of saying, my sister needs our help. Can you please help me? I understand. The whole time I'm sitting there thinking, okay, are you an idiot? There's nothing out here. Oh, there we go. Oh, that looks like Earth. Okay, I'm going to get over there. John, since you have a PS4, I'm trying to think of what you would probably want to go after as your next game. But it's hard to think of. Oh, look at this planet. Oh, wow. This is this planet looks the closest to like Earth that I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much are going to want to get, whatever attracts you. And since you like The Last of Us, I'm thinking you probably are into like action style games. Like you might be into Metal Gear now that I think about it. That might be something you could get into. Metal Gear was pretty good, although Metal Gear it ties into the rest of the story. So even though it's Metal Gear 5, it completes a part of the story that you would have had to play previous games to understand. That's why after playing it, I was like, "What the heck is up with this ending?" But since I understand the story a bit more now I know what I saw at the end of it makes a little bit more sense. But the gameplay is still awesome. You only played the first Metal Gear? Well, you may not even like this one then. But then again, it's not like the first one. It is a complete action game. It's not... Oh, and you played Snake Eater too? I've never played Snake Eater. I played the first one. I played the second one. Played the second one on the PlayStation, and I didn't play Snake Eater. I played the fourth one, and now the fifth one. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand much of the story. I had to watch a YouTube video and have someone explain it to me. That's what I kept hearing too, is that Snake Eater is probably the best in the series. Yeah, and so was 5 actually. 5 is about what Big Boss goes through. And how I think one of his recruits obtains Metal Gear. No, not how he obtains Metal Gear. Obtains like because that wasn't called Metal Gear. The mech in Phantom Pain. It's called something else. But it's about how someone he trained, someone he rescued, obtains that, which later becomes his enemy. That's how it actually ends. Let's have a look around. you know what? Since you like RPGs, you could always go for you can always grab Persona. Because my sister and my cousin swear by Persona. They love that game. I can't get into Persona because it falls outside of my guidelines. Final Fantasy, which one? The newest one? The newest one? No, it's a game that it looks pretty good, but there's certain aspects of it that hold me back from buying it. Yeah, I'm the same way with Persona. It looks interesting, but because see, Persona is, from what I gather, it's like Suikoden, if you've ever played Suikoden, but it's, how can I put it? It's you don't have as many characters that follow different jobs. You can just switch your job classes in the game. Yeah, Suikoden is pretty good. Yeah, everybody says Suikoden 2 is the best. Although I like Suikoden 3 as well. I like that one. That was pretty good because Suikoden 3 had something like 90 characters in it that you could collect and find. I don't know if Suikoden 2 had that many. Oh, there we go. I beat most of 3. There are 3 storylines in 3, and I beat 2 of them. Oh, really? I didn't know that Suikoden 2 had that many. I thought it was less than 3. Well, that goes to show you. Because I only played like a brief amount of 2. Very brief. But I beat most of 3. Yeah, that was a while ago. We're talking about how they need to do an HD remake of all the Suikodens on the PlayStation and put them on the PS4. That would be a good idea. Yeah. Well, we can still hope, right? Like, if they ever do a Shadow Hearts remake, that would be nice. Because my cousin Christopher, he would go crazy if they do that. They do a Shadow Hearts remake or Xenosaga remake. Now, I don't know about Shadow Hearts, but if they did a Xenosaga remake, I would be down for that. That Xenosaga is pretty good. Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII, people have been crying for that game for a long time, and they always said that it's something that they could do if the demand was high, and now they're just finally saying, well, we'll do it, but you know, we want to see where the hype leads. Pretty much, that's why they're taking so long. Because I feel like they could just they could come out with the Final Fantasy VII game right now if they wanted to. Oh, speaking of which, did you hear that they're bringing the Final Fantasy fighting game to the PS4? That I want to play. That's going to be good. See, I beat the first Xenosaga, and I got halfway through the second one. I didn't even get to the third one. Okay, getting out of here. Oh yeah, well, not guys, Dista, the Dista fighting game. They're bringing that to the PS4. They brought guys. That would be interesting, but you know, guys would be it's too dated. I mean, it would be awesome if they put it on the PS4, but it's way too dated. Guys, a lot of fun back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good, a pretty good fighting game. I just think that it well, see, you've never played what's that game on the Sega Saturn? You haven't played you probably haven't played Last Bronx, but guys reminded me too much of Last Bronx. I don't need you. What do you know? Nope. What do you got to say? Okay, I don't know. Oh, you gave me some money? All right. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. As long as they're worth my time. Have this. Okay, who was your favorite character in guys? Don't say Cloud or Sephiroth. I know you're gonna say it's Sephiroth. I was pretty good with Tifa, and the chick with the yo-yo, I think her name was Yoko. I was pretty good with her. Whoa, is there a fight? Okay. God bless the screen. ship in this game. Yeah, I know I was good with Yoko. Man. Get this ugly ship out of here. That isn't too much better looking. You'll be happy to know that if you grab the Dista game, that it's all Final Fantasy characters from like every game that you can, every Final Fantasy character, or every Final Fantasy game that's been released. I do believe there's at least one, maybe two characters from each one. I personally, from Dista, Lightning is my girl. That's who I use. I can't really think of anybody else except for Tifa that I might use in. Well, okay, Barrett is pretty good. I use what's the girl from 5? Forget her name. I use her a lot too in Dista. I also use Titus in Dista. I'm trying to think of who else. I don't use Fawn that much, but I use him sometimes in Dista. I know my cousin will be happy to hear that. Oh, wall crash stuff? Yeah. That is actually really annoying now that I think about it. I guess I just like to play around that a bit more. Maybe I like all the extras that they allow you to do. Like what is it? The leveling up system is totally reminiscent of an RPG. What else? There are certain things you can do on certain days. I think is kind of interesting. I love the music. The music is another reason to have it. It's just like epic. Every character has like an epic kind of theme that goes along with it. Or you can change it up if you want. Like I always use like one of the boss battle tracks when I'm fighting somebody in Dista. It's awesome. Yeah, the reason you're seeing that I think is because you get a bonus if you if you're jumping off walls and throwing people on the walls. I think, and of course, people that that live on these kinds of games, they're gonna exploit everything that they can find within the game to win. That's why I don't like playing multiplayer a whole lot, because that's what it is now. Back in the day, people didn't do that stuff. They just played the game for fun. They didn't live on these games and then try and strategically exploit the game and the person they're playing against so they can win. In other words, glitch. They're trying to glitch fight you. So that's pretty much it. Oh, let's see what happens. You give me nothing. Right on. Me too. Just playing Street Fighter for the fun of it, not trying to figure out how I'm going to beat somebody that's a glitch player or a tier player, because that's another thing too. People pick the character they feel or they hear is top tier in the game and just use every move they feel can exploit or destroy an opponent. Yes, that's perfectly legit, but I remember a time when games didn't used to be about that, and they were fun. Okay. Alright, I didn't get anything from these guys. Which game? Oh. There's no one else in here? Okay. Okay, you talking about original Street Fighter 2, or are you talking about like Street Fighter Alpha? You're right. That was actually pretty hard because Zangief doesn't have a way to really get around fireballs in the original Street Fighter 2. In Street Fighter Alpha, they gave him that strong like parry fist move that lets you just block him and swat him down. You can't like reflect them, but you can negate them. So that's why it was like, really, they're giving that to Zangief. And then there are people that can exploit that so perfectly that all they have to do is that a few times, time perfectly, and they can grab you and it's over. All they have to do is get close to you. That doesn't sound right. Something about that sounds really wrong. Is there really nothing on this planet? Yeah, that parry fist move. Yeah, I hate that because but then again, it's supposed to give Zangief players the since Zangief is incredibly slow, it's supposed to give Zangief players the opportunity to be able to go head up with people that jam the fireball all day, which I can understand, but it's still. Oh, is this a cave? No. You're right. He's still a broken character. They should have him. He should be faster. That's the thing. He's so strong and big, but he should be a little bit faster. I mean, look at Micah. She's a power character herself, and she's she's twice as fast as Zangief. Although Zangief's bigger than her, still, you can't make me believe that someone that's that big can be that slow. I mean, look at wrestling. I mean, wrestling, the wrestlers, and I'm talking about realistically, are not that slow. Yeah. I'm still waiting to buy Street Fighter V. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to even get it because they didn't put Sakura in it at all, which is pretty much my favorite character. Akuma's in it, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. Yeah, I know that's not true. I knew that wasn't true the second day he said that was his son. I was like, bull. That's not your son. What do you think? I've seen that guy's real father. That's not his. That's Kurt Angle's not his father. I don't know where they're going with that though. It'll be kind of interesting to see what they're trying to do with that. Exactly. How do you put Karen in the game and not Sakura? I don't understand that. Are they trying to replace Sakura with Karen? You can't do that. Exactly. It's like if they took Ryu out and left Ken in and said the Ken is your representative for the style and persona. It's like, no, that doesn't work. Ken is a totally different character. Yeah, it's like, why even put Karen in the game at all? So that's when I was like, and then they had the nerve to tell us that a story mode wasn't something that they originally thought was a good idea for Street Fighter V. That's when I was like, okay, I'm through, because that means this is intended for people that do multiplayer, and I'm not really one of those people, so forget it. So I've yet to buy it. Back in the day, with Street Fighter, you would play the game. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what happened to Capcom? There was a point in time when Capcom made the best fighting games, and they were my favorite company. Back when the Sega Saturn was a main console, with like Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that. I was in heaven. Those were my favorite games. But nowadays it's like they're a shell of what they used to be, and I'm pretty much apprehensive to buy any Capcom game that is released, because I know I'm going to be disappointed for sure. Instead of optimistic about what the game might include, I know they're going to disappoint me. Like, even though Resident Evil 7 is a good game, I'm still disappointed with that game. Because I felt like, for one, it was too short. Two, I thought they were going to bring back some of the previous Resident Evil characters, and they really haven't done that. They say they're going to have a mode where you can play, guess who, Chris Redfield in an update pretty soon. And I'm like, okay, really? Mega Man, interestingly enough, was always way too hard for me. I don't know why Mega Man was always so hard for me. But I could beat, like, the Ninja Turtles. I could get far in Battletoads. I could get far in, like, what's that other game? Castlevania. I could play those games, but I couldn't get into Mega Man for some reason. I never got into Ghouls and Ghosts. I don't know why. It's not a bad game. I just never got into it. Yeah, I can do it. There's nothing wrong with this planet. Okay, well, how can I put it? If Mega Man Legends is anything like Metroid Prime, but from I guess a third-person perspective, then you're probably right. I probably will like it. I thought Mega Man Legends was on the Nintendo 64. I guess I'm wrong. Trombone is actually pretty funny. I kind of like her and those little Serbots. That is kind of funny. That reminds me of who does that remind me of? I don't know if you've ever played Disgaea, but it reminds me of Disgaea and the Pretties. Those little penguin characters that are always saying "dude." I like Trombone in Marvel vs. Capcom as well. Actually, it's pretty good with her. Yeah, Disgaea is is Disgaea like Tactics? I think Disgaea is like Final Fantasy Tactics. Because it's the total grid RPG thing. The interesting thing about Disgaea is I don't think it has a level cap. So I mean, you could be fighting against an enemy that has like 10,000 hit points, and your attack is something at 5 million, and you do like crazy amounts of damage. And when you do that, it gives you some kind of benefit. You get like money, you get something, you get like rare items, something like that. I think that's why people play it. Yeah, exactly. None of these planets have a base that I can build. What about you? Got some greenery. Well, I'll just keep moving to the galactic core. I think I'm getting close. Oh, you know, hold on. Whoa. Better bring this out just in case. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, there we go. Huh? Oh, that's the planet. I'll tell you right now, John, anything that's bad in this game is good, so you don't get bored. It is actually a little bit better. You can build bases and stuff like that, collect. You can play more casually too on this game. It's not a whole grind and it's not a whole grinding experience. Because the mode I'm playing right now is exploration mode, where I don't have to like scour all of these planets for resources just so I can get things. Because that's what I wanted to know too, is if the game is better on this mode. And it kind of is, but it's also a little bit boring because you're not challenged as much in this mode. I think this is for the yeah, exactly, fuel low. You'd always have to keep refueling and searching for the right the right ingredients or right resources to recharge your supplies. But in this mode, I can bypass all of that and just look around. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. Oh, that thing is full. Right? Okay. Build storage containers back here to hold all this stuff. Open up, come on. Well, yeah, man, because you've been playing games as long as I have. So yeah, I mean, you probably well, that does bring up an interesting question, John. What was your very first system? And I mean, like, the oldest system you ever had. Not the oldest one you've ever played, but the oldest one you ever remember having as a kid. What was your very first one? That you owned. Thank you. Because see, that's exactly like me too. My very first actual system was like a compact computer where I had like Castle, like this piano game, Space Invaders was on there, and I think maybe some, what was that other game? It was like another questing game. Yeah, bulletin and floppy disks. Janitor Joe, that sounds familiar. I don't know about Hard Hack Mac. I don't know about that one. Janitor Joe, maybe. But the game I remember playing, like the very first one was that Castle Adventure game. where you were like this dot, and you had to figure out how to get through each. I mean, it was like it was mostly text based, but it was still kind of fun because you had to figure out how to get where to go and how to get around the obstacles without using anything violent. You just have to figure it out. Hard Hat Mac. See, I swear that sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever played that one. How come I can't move this over? Yeah, that's right. There you go, man. See, I had Yahtzee too. I had something else too. Another game like Yahtzee was on there. I just can't think of it. But it was. That's where I started too, with those kinds of games on just a standard I forget how many, what capacity that computer was, but like one of those really old classic computers. And the compact I had was so big, it was interesting because it was portable too. I mean, I could literally pick that thing up by the back of its handle like it was a boombox, put it on my mom's table, kind of flip it open and start playing and start using it. And then of course after that I graduated to like an Atari 2600 and some other Atari systems. Yeah, but if you had something that old, I mean, would you really use it, or do you just like the nostalgia feeling of having one and maybe turning it on if you felt like you wanted to look at that? I personally probably would not even touch something like that if I had it. Okay, so did you have the one that was the 24 colors one, or did you have like the standard one like I had that was black and green? Yeah, it's true. If I wanted to, I could probably grab an emulator and go ahead and try playing some of those games I used to play back then. But honestly, I have games now, John, that I don't play for these other systems. I have over 50 games for the PS4, and that's just the PS4. I think my PlayStation games are probably 35, and I have over 50 for the Dreamcast. What else? The PS3 I already named. I have like probably 20 for the Sega Saturn. The PSP I have a bunch. I have a lot for the PlayStation Vita too. I have tons of games, so that's why I'm like, something like that probably isn't what's going to hold my interest. If I have these other games that I don't even play. Yeah, for the 2600, I probably had something like 35 games, and we're talking like E.T., Super Mario Brothers. What else? Joust. I think Joust was on there. River Raid, Zaxxon, Mousetrap. Maybe Mousetrap. That might have been for the ColecoVision. Flash Gordon, the Star Wars simulator, lightsaber simulator. What else was on there? E.T., which is the worst game ever created. Because I swear, I don't know, I never figured out how to play that game. All you do is fall in the hole and go back and forth for like 10 minutes until you finally decide to turn that thing off. Pitfall too, that was another good one. Pitfall, and then the Jungle Rescue game. Yeah, that's right. What else? Oh man, there were some good games on that system. X's and O versus O's football. I don't think I ever played that. See, I didn't get into sports games until like the Nintendo. I think the first sports game I ever got into was Blades of Steel. Yeah, me and my dad would play Blades of Steel for hours. I mean, it wasn't licensed by the NHL, so all you could do is play like Los Angeles, Chicago, in their NHL colors, and that's it. Which is pretty funny. But yeah, that was my first sports title. All right. Was that the first system that was yours? That, you know, pretty much was your responsibility? That was the first system that was yours? The Nintendo? Because I grew up in a family, John, where I had two brothers and a sister, so pretty much anything like a video game system was shared until I got old enough to buy my own. Yeah, and I take that back because my first system that I ever owned that was mine was actually the very first Game Boy. I did a lot of yard work for my one of my aunts. She was like, okay, as a reward, I'll buy you a Game Boy for Christmas, and she did. She bought me a Game Boy. So that was my first system. Now see, that's interesting because I never beat the very first Super Mario Brothers. I saw someone beat it, but I never actually beat that game. Now, Super Mario 2, or the one that they out here that they call Super Mario 2, that I did beat, which is interesting because I don't know a whole lot of people that beat that game. I beat that game, Super Mario 2, in less than 10 hours as a kid. Now Zelda 2, that broke my heart because I was this close to beating it, but my little brother erased my game. I should say younger brother. Cool. I mean, what do you mean by letting go the Game Boy trademark? What do you mean? You mean, I think I get what you mean. You mean, they should still be calling their portable systems Game Boy? Yeah, they probably would make a little bit more if they did that, because they would be also playing on people's nostalgia per their interest in that respect. Yeah. Exactly. The Game Boy had me so into Nintendo that I even bought one of those Nintendo watches. I don't know if you remember those, but they had like a Mario one, they had a Zelda one, and they had like a I forget what that was called. I think it was like a stick character one. But they were all Nintendo. But they were all like Nintendo games. They were like watches that you could play You could play like a quick little game on your watch. Now, I got the Zelda one, and I don't even know what happened to that. I had so much crap from Nintendo when I was a kid. I don't remember what happened to any of that stuff. Yeah, the whole Game Watch stuff. Yeah. am I putting all this? Back in the Starship. Why can't I transfer this to the freighter? Okay, put it back in the suit. Okay. Yeah, and the Nintendo, I mean, I probably had like, what, maybe 5 games for the Game Boy. I had like, I had Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan, I had Super Mario 6 Golden Coins, I had Roger Rabbit, I had Metroid 2, and there's probably another one that I had that I just can't think of at the moment. But I didn't have a whole lot of games for the Game Boy, but yeah, that was my first system until I got old enough to buy my own, and then I got a Sega Saturn, because after that I still got game systems, but they were pretty much shared with like me and my brothers, because I've had a Nintendo, a Sega Genesis, a Nintendo 64, and then I got a Saturn. And then I got rid of my Nintendo 64 for a Dreamcast, and which is kind of funny because I still have that Dreamcast, and it's mine. It's not anyone else's. It's mine. And what I went ahead and did is I went and bought a Nintendo 64 again, because I had so many games that are just sitting around, and I was like, well, I might as well just get another one. So you had a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite game on the? What was your favorite classic Sega game? Oh, you just did. I never got an original PlayStation. Never. I was too into the Nintendo 64. Oh, that's mine. Wait a minute. Is this mine? Yeah. That name sucks. I don't know what that is. Oh, Outrun, yeah. Man, I still like playing Outrun. Even to this day, Outrun is one of my favorite racing games. I remember R-Type. Yeah, R-Type was pretty fun. Golden Axe? I don't think I played Golden Axe that much. I do remember it though. Makes you mad. Oh, which one? Yeah. But the Dreamcast, yeah. Yeah, but see, the problem with the Dreamcast is that it was way too advanced for its time, and it didn't have the right security measures set in place. So Sega pretty much introduced a system, a free, what do you call it, a freeware system into the market. And hackers took advantage of that, so all of the games made for it were exploited, and people could just download their games for free. That's why the Dreamcast failed. That's the only reason, because it's on par, if not better, than the PlayStation 2. Exactly. I think my favorite game for the Dreamcast is probably Rival Schools 2. Project Justice. That's probably my favorite game. Next to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I will not play Marvel vs. Capcom on any... Yeah, Power Stone was good too. Virtual On. Berserk, I don't know, man. Berserk made me feel like it was missing something. Kind of like Record of Lotus War, because I know both of the series, but I felt like it was just missing something, so I never really finished it. Yeah, Rival Schools, but you see, I have the Japanese version, so the Japanese version lets you play that mini board game where you can create your own character, which is pretty fun. I actually learned a little bit of Japanese trying to figure out how to play that game. Yeah, Lotus War, it seemed like they were trying it seems like they were trying to copy off of something. Was it that, what game was that? Or was it kind of in the same format? Was it Golden Age? It was something like that. I know it wasn't Golden Axe. Well, wait a minute. What are you talking about? You had yours chipped. Are you talking about the Dreamcast? The Dreamcast was not region locked. That all of the systems were region free. Mine is still like that. And I bought mine from Target. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the PlayStation. I think that one was region locked. Like I said, I never got an original PlayStation. Yeah. And I've never gotten into Diablo either. Oh, wait a minute. Who is this coming into my freighter here? Diablo. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling like. Like I've seen the gameplay styles before, and thus it kind of took me out of it. It's like, And in case you didn't know, they are re-releasing Record of Lotus War on Blu-ray. It actually comes out this upcoming week. And I'm talking about the original OAV and the Chronicles of Heroic Knight, the TV series. They're releasing both of them together in a box set for like $70. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I knew you were gonna say something about Ashram. Why don't you like King Kashu? What's wrong with him? I actually don't like Ashram all that much. I like the Scepter of Domination. That he's trying to. Okay, I like her too. Pyrotess is pretty cool. I like her. I like D-Lit. I like Parn is just way too predictable. He's too. How can I put it? He's just too typical. It's not like I hate him or anything, but he's not even like an annoying character all that much. It's just can't find a reason to like the guy, but I don't hate him either. Oh, because he cheated in the... Well, come on, John. I mean, we're talking about like a medieval setting, and we're talking about pretty much a street fight. So there are no rules in the street fight. You can do whatever you need. You do whatever you need to do to win. But I see your point. Yes, he is. Thank you. I'm glad somebody recognizes that he is like a typical Japanese kind of stereotypical Japanese character. Even though, yeah, that's pretty much what he is. That's true. He did. Oh God, please don't, John. I think I've already told you I hate Naruto. Please don't do that. I mean, there are very specific reasons too why I hate Naruto. And it's more like a generation thing too, because the anime fans of the current generation feel like Naruto is God's gift to animation, and I don't agree with that, because I've been into the animation way before it came out. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting the characters confused. So you're talking about Cashew is like that. Is like the typical okay, so you're saying that that stereotypical character is he's kind of like that, but he's a little bit better than it. Yeah. See, that's why I don't hate him, because he does show character growth, and that he's not, just that typical character that whines and complains, and and we always feel sorry for him, woe is me, that kind of stuff. No, he actually develops into something a little bit better than that. So yeah, I follow. That's why I don't hate him. But they start off where he's like that, and it's like, well, he's not like that 100%. It's like he just shows remnants of that, and it kind of bothers me. But it's not enough to make me disinterested in the story or anything. That's why I don't hate him. But I just can't find a reason to get behind him 100%. But it has a lot of characters in it. That's another thing too. I'm gonna take this ship from this person here. Yeah, you're gonna give me this ship. Oh, okay. So you weren't talking about Cash. You're talking about Pard. Okay. Woodchuck was like, I was trying to figure out what this dude was trying to be. He was trying to be like the what's a good example? What's a good comparison of Woodchuck? Woodchuck was trying to be who was like him that I can think of. But you're right. He was the kind of character that he was the kind of character that just got left behind in the plot and the story. They really didn't do anything with him. I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to yeah, that's true. But I don't know, because I think they were trying to mimic a particular style with the characters that they had. Parn was always meant to be in the spotlight, and Deelid was obviously his girl. So I think what they were trying to do is surround Parn with enough characters that fit a particular style to make you feel like, okay, this resembles Dungeons and Dragons. This resembles Lord of the Rings. This resembles something else like that. I think that's what they were trying to do.
That's true, because in the TV series, he pretty much is non-existent. Seriously, they don't. It's like he never existed. In the OAV, he at least had some presence. That's very true. I don't know why that was done. I think because they were just trying to bring back popular characters from the OAV into the TV series, and then focus on the characters they had set for the second part of the series, which was, Spark and what's her name? What's her name? God, I used to know all these character names. Granddaughter of that priestess of Martha. I forget what her name is. It starts with an L, I think. But anyway, the focus was on her and the relationship she has with Spark. I think they were trying to do Layla. That's right. Yeah, you're right. Niece. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was focused mainly on Niece and Spark, but the setup for that was to reintroduce some of the characters from the OAV. I think that was their idea. So you can go, oh, this is like the OAV, or Niece is pretty cool. I actually like the way the TV series was done, for the most part, all together. I like the opening and ending themes. I like the animation style. I like just the entire feel of that entire show. It just looks like, what is this, a Death Star? But you know what's funny, John, is that, and you're right, it is Carla. There are a lot of people that like the original, the OAV, that despise the TV series. It's like if you're into Gunslinger Girl, there are a lot of people that like the first season of Gunslinger Girl but hate the second season. I like both. Just for Lotus Wars, I like both. I don't have a problem with either one. For some reason, and it's just people like if you change up the animation style for people in a particular series, it pushes them away. Like, I'll give you an example. Yeah, exactly. What is it? Is it Full Metal Alchemist? Yeah. Full Metal, the original Full Metal Alchemist, I cannot stand that. I can't stand the animation. It's just so odd and irregular to me that I can't watch it. Now, Brotherhood was better. So I was actually able to watch, maybe a little bit of Brotherhood. So my opinion of the series is a little bit better than it used to be. But there was a point in time where I was like, I can't watch it at all. Wait, so you think it was just uninteresting, Full Metal Alchemist? Yeah. And see, I'm trying to give them credit for what they did, because they did improve on the series by releasing Brotherhood. You can actually see that. But I'm wondering, like, what was the point? But then again, I kind of understand. Like, if you look at Hellsing, the original Hellsing was awesome. I have no problems with original Hellsing, but they brought out Hellsing Ultimate because they wanted it to look more like a movie. But it's still cool. I like both Hellsings. I mean, they kind of did the same thing with Ava Gillian, where the original had more just it had a lot of different things, mostly or more comedy in it than like the movies they keep releasing. But if you've never seen Hellsing Ultimate, you need to watch it, man. Hellsing Ultimate is very good. Yes, if you like the original Hellsing, odds are you will like Hellsing Ultimate too. Hellsing Ultimate is actually more violent and more like dramatic. It's higher animation quality too, just a little bit more, just a little higher. and which is usually how it is with when they release an OAV versus like a TV series. They do. I mean, you saw what they did to Berserk, where the original Berserk was released, and then they released the 2-part OAV that was like the whole thing jammed into like, I don't know how many episodes that was, but they re-released the whole thing. Yeah, Hellsing. I like the fact that Alucard's that his handgun is like, it's like the size of a rifle. It's ridiculous, but it's cool at the same time. I love that. Oh yeah, man. I knew that them re-releasing Berserk from the first episode. I could tell that this wasn't going to be good because they were messing around with CG way too much. Now there are shows that mess around with CG, but if you do it too much, it's going to take out of the series. Yeah, I tried too. I understand. Yeah, I tried too. I watched at least five episodes of Berserk before I gave up. 5. And then I was like, nah, I'm done. I can't do this. But if you've ever watched Love Live and you're into the whole like school idol stuff, in Love Live they do that too, where they use CG, but they don't do it all the time. They use it mostly for when they dance and stuff, and they use a little bit of it. That's okay. When they do it that little, I don't even mind. But when you try and replace like actual action sequences for the main part of the show with CG, and it's all over the place, then I have a problem with that. That's too much. That's like them being lazy and not wanting to actually put effort into creating these or drawing these characters. So they just put it all on the computer and simulate it, or automate it, I should say. Yeah, exactly. When they do that, you can also tell that there probably isn't that much interest in it, because I think the way it works is when a show comes out and the ratings are high, their budget gets pushed up so that they can continue to keep those ratings, so they put more effort into their work. I mean, you see it all the time when a series starts off and the animation quality might be low, but as it gets towards the end of the series, it's higher. Magic Knight Rayearth is like that. Although the quality of Magic Knight Rayearth is never really that low, but you can kind of see it gets higher as the series comes to an end. Wait a minute. Which series are you talking about? Where you say that that he's the center of the universe and all the ladies love him? You talking just generically, or are you talking about a specific series? Because yes, I do hate those kinds of shows where they have a guy, he's the main character, he's got like 12 girlfriends, he's got like 15 girlfriends. They highlight the girls of the series, and it's kind of a screwed up way to market people. They highlight the girls of the series, but when you start watching it, it's all about the dude and what he wants to do and his interaction with them. You're right, I hate those series. Those are pretty much dating sims, and there's way too much of them out there. I don't know. It's just like the whole genre is filled with these dating sim replicas. It's like Ranma 1/2 and Tenchi Muyo thrown into these different scenarios and different plots. So yeah, I stay away from that stuff. That's why most of the stuff I'm into is mostly about girls, because they don't do that stuff with the girls. They just highlight them as as characters, and maybe there's a romantic situation or two, I don't even care. As long as they don't do that dating sim crap, because I hate that. And you know what? And it's not like I didn't give Naruto a shot. I actually watched quite a bit of Naruto, like when they had the first, was it the Chunin exams? I watched pretty much most of that, where Naruto would hit up pretty much with the other kids. I think he actually fought Gaara in that part of the series, but. And that held my interest for a little while, but then I was pretty much done with it when they finished that part of it. And I didn't even try watching Shippuden because it seemed like more of the same stuff after I watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah, that's annoying too, but I'm not really. What series? Do you have a particular series in mind where it's like that, where you've got the girl that she's supposed to be badass one minute, and there's this guy that hangs around her, but he ends up saving her so many times that it pretty much makes her skills irrelevant. What series do you have in mind? Because I think I've seen that enough times. I just can't think of which ones pissed me off where that was the case. Yeah, Ranma is like that now that I think about it. Oh, come on, man. Bastard was pretty good, though. Even though that was partly the element there, Bastard was actually pretty good. Yeah, Tenchi was like that. Tenchi was like completely... Okay, he wasn't completely annoying. I like all the other things happening in Tenchi, like the fact that it almost seemed like it was like Star Wars. I love that about Tenchi. Ranma was just funny in English. That's the reason I kept watching Ranma, because you never knew what Ranma was going to say or what Akane was going to say. So that's why I was into that. But Bastard, yeah, Bastard. I love everything about Bastard. You're right. The plot is too a little too predictable. But everything else that's in Bastard is awesome. Hell, even my sister loves Bastard, for crying out loud. Who doesn't like Kudo, man? Kudo is like I swear to God, Kudo is like the very first like anime crackhead. I mean, this guy is so obsessed with girl type Ranma and Akane that you could tell him anything and use that as a measure to exploit him. It's hilarious. But then again, what character in Ranma isn't like that isn't related to Akane? They all are like that. Tenchi was your very first anime. That's interesting. So do you have all of it? I mean, is it something that you use as like a point of comparison? Because that's what a lot of people do with their very first series, is they'll use that as their basis for what they do and don't like. And pretty much, if they'll use it for their, I don't want to say they'll use it for their basis of their interest, because, you can like different things about anime, styles, plots, whatever genre you're into, and so forth. But do you do that? Do you say, well, I don't like okay. Yeah, cause see, oh, you mean the OAV? Yeah, okay. I actually don't have the OAVs for Fatal Fury. I have the movie. I just don't have the OAVs. Yeah, the motion picture was good as long as you didn't watch it off of the Sci-Fi Channel. Now you're speaking in a manner where you recognize that it's anime and that you're into anime. In other words, my meaning behind that is because I had this discussion with my sister where I like to tell people that Voltron is my favorite, my very first anime because I watched it as a kid. But she would say, well, you didn't know that was anime, so how can you say that that's your first anime or use that as your very first series when you were just a kid? And my response to that is, well, I was attracted to the style, so it doesn't matter if I knew it was anime or not, because everything in that same style had my interest, like the Thundercats, like Transformers. Hell, even Inspector Gadget is partly anime, because if you look at the credits, it is actually animated by Japanese artists. It just depends on your perspective. Yeah, for me, I like to say that Voltron is my very first, but the first show that got me watching anime, and I mean literally, got me interested in the style, and I wasn't like a total little kid, I'll be honest, was Sailor Moon. That's it was Sailor Moon. Yeah, because you probably have seen like Speed Racer and Gigantor and maybe even G-Force, or what it was called back then, War of the Worlds. Not War of the Worlds, War of something, I forgot. Or even Robotech, Macross. Well, it's not Robotech, it's Macross. I have friends that would smack me over the head if they knew I was calling Macross Robotech. With koalas? I don't remember anything like that. About koalas? That actually sounds familiar. I just can't think of anything. That sounds familiar. I swear I've seen that, John. I just can't picture it. Man, I don't need that. Let me talk to this guy. Who are you? Yeah, I swear to God I have seen that, John. I know I have seen that. I just can't think of the name. But back then, there were a lot of shows that were like that. Because even the Silverhawks shows some sign of Japanese artist-like influence. So it just depends, like, if you understand like what the style was. Because for me, I pretty much was into a lot of different cartoons and shows, but my favorites were those ones that were anime like that. Like the Transformers, Thundercats, Voltron. I had so many Voltron toys. It's not even funny. I was also into like the Ninja Turtles too, which isn't anime. So it's like I can't go there. It just depends. But like I was saying, my very first, I guess you could say, anime series as a teen, where I actually understood that it was anime, was Sailor Moon, and then right after that it was like Ranma. It was Ranma and then Maison Ikoku. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, there's a space station. Oh. Whoa. Dropping right out of hyperspace, like, okay, what you gonna do? Whoa! Whoa! There's only one reason, well, maybe two reasons why I hate Attack on Titan. I actually don't hate Attack on Titan. I don't like it because I don't like the way it's kind of like it's a little. It's not difficult to explain. It's just not something that will make me a very popular guy if I say this, but I'll say it anyway. Attack on Titan, I think, appeals to two types of people that are anime fans. The fact that there are so many guys in the series means that they're trying to appeal to girls, I think. And if you're a real fan, and if you're like a really like a big fan of like violence and animation, it'll probably appeal to you as well. For some reason, I can't get into it that much. And mostly because I think Attack on Titan and its animation style resembles not exactly in the same style, but the way that it looks, it reminds, I don't know why it reminds me of Claymore, but it does. And I just feel like shows that get way too, no, it's not shows that get too much attention. It just feels like you're either into it because you're a fangirl, or you're into it because it appeals to your action, I guess you could call interest, your interest in action, because it's incredibly violent and there are so many guys in it that I feel like it's done on purpose to appeal to girls. And see, well, you know what? Honestly, John, I actually have German in my ancestry too. I bet you didn't know that. I think my grandfather said that his grandparents are from Germany, or at least no, my grandfather said that his grandfather on my mother's side is actually from Germany, because my mother's maiden name is Spigner, and that is a German name. So yeah, I have German and like Indian in my DNA, or I should say Native American in my DNA. Yeah. What is it? And see, I just can't. It's like there's a part of me that wants to be interested in Attack on Titan. I think the thing that happened with me and Attack on Titan is that it came out at the wrong time because it didn't come out at the wrong time. It just followed a plot that I couldn't get into because I watched the whole first season, and for the most part, the way it started off was excellent because I was into it. I wanted to know what the hell. I forget his name. The main character. What is his name? It's not Gene. What is the main character's name? I can't think of it at the moment. But anyway, when he leaves his parents, his father, and his father gives him the key and says, remember the basement? That made me go, dude, what the hell is in that basement? So that kept me into it. Like, I gotta know what's in that basement. I have to see what. And they never show you. They don't even. I mean, it's in the second season now, and you still don't know what was in the dang basement. It's like, okay, when are they gonna get to the part of the plot that fulfills that point? Maybe they'll end it with that being the climax. I don't know. See, that's why I'm like, dude, they started off so well because whenever you do that in a series with high, because I honestly feel like Attack on Titan has really good animation. It's very, very high. Whenever you do that, when you start off in a series with high quality like that, and you have such a deep plot, because everything happens really, really fast at the beginning, and you do that, it's like, okay, I gotta know what's going on. They don't even really make any mention of that too. Because you know he still has the key. But it's like, did he ever go back to his home? Where the hell is his father? I give him a little bit more credit than Shinji because Shinji, every character in Evangelion is screwed up emotionally. Every single one of them has like this baggage that they can't get past. Oh, well then you know more about the series than I do because I kind of stopped watching after the first season, and then I don't know, I didn't even watch all of the first season. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So if they are mentioning that and stating that that's what they're going back to, then maybe it is worth getting into. But honestly, John, there are so many series that I have that I want to actually watch that Attack on Titan isn't even in the top 20 at the moment. Oh, and Dream Sequences, okay. So no one has actually come out and said we need to go back to whatever part of the oh, is it that bad? Because the part in season 2 that I'm really at is when they figure out who the colossal titan is and the armor titan is, and they're all sitting together talking about what their problems are. And I'm sitting there thinking, this dude is sitting there. I mean, yeah, he's beat up and such. But it's like, dude, you're beat up, and you killed this guy's parents. You'd be lucky if this dude, and you're letting him heal himself. You'd be lucky if this dude doesn't kill you when he's at full. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, dude, what the hell? and you're right. He does have that Shinji Ikari element because he's sitting there looking like, I can't believe you say I respected you. You were one of my brothers, and I'm like, dude. Don't even stress on it. Just make sure you get yourself healed and then kill that dude. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Kill him. Do whatever you got to do to kill him. You watch this dude like eat your parents. What do you wait or step on your parents? Kill him, or not his parents, his mother. Kill him. Yeah. He kind of does do that Shinji Ikari thing, but at least he doesn't like bawl and stuff. He just gets really pissed, which I guess I can understand. And then he's like a kid too, kind of. He's not like he's not an adult quite yet. I think he's like 17. So I mean, I get that. It's just that you're right. I'm tired of seeing that kind of mentality, because they make him a little too effeminate, and that makes me feel like, well, where's the guy that you mess with him too much, and then he just rips you apart because you've toyed with him too much. You've taken something away from him that you shouldn't have, and you can't get away with that kind of stuff. Instead of having a character that goes, I can't believe this, and he says it like for 25 times, and you're thinking, dude, why are you still talking? Just get in there and handle business. You know what he's done. You witnessed it. Go ahead and take care of him. But I mean, they're trying to build up a plot and make things interesting. So, I mean, that's what they do. Oh, you don't like Mikasa? That's interesting, because a lot of you don't like her. But what is it that you don't like about her? That's true. That's true. She pretty much is like, yeah, that's her. Her name is Mikasa. She is pretty much like that. Like anything, if it doesn't involve his protection, she's not really that motivated. I mean, she is a soldier. She does go on her mission. She's decorated and blah blah blah, and she's pretty much an elite and regarded as one. But you're right, she doesn't do anything unless it's mostly concerning him. She doesn't get motivated. So yeah, I can understand that. I just don't, and this is another reason. And I mean, for the time, I did kind of like her. I liked the sequence where she was scared and she killed both of those guys that were eventually going to rape her. I do like that, because that shows that she has some guts, even for a little girl. I mean, I like that much about her. But you're right. At the end of the day, it's like she's not anything else beyond something like that. Yeah, that's true. And honestly, it's like, how can I put it? It's like they highlight her as pretty much the main female. Oh, there's a bat. Oh. Cool. Let's go. Yeah. Isn't Gene the Colossal Titan though? I think Gene isn't the Colossal Titan. That's another guy. honestly, John, you're making me want to watch it, like, because I know it's on Hulu. You're making me want to watch it, like, right now. You might find this crazy, but pretty much my favorite character, I don't know why, maybe because she's the only one that brings some kind of humor to this whole thing, is, what's that chick's name? The girl that likes potatoes. She's kind of my favorite, just because she's so silly. I forget her name. Oh, I used to know her name, too. That's sad. Yep. I kind of like her. I don't know why. Because she pretty much is really weak, and well, she's not like, she kind of just like chill. She doesn't really like get all that stressed out about this stuff, which is weird, but it's still kind of funny. Right here. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because she's like she's too blasé. She's not like she's too blasé, and she's not tied to the story heavily enough for them to keep her on. So I already knew that was going to happen. Oh, they brought her back. What is this? I don't need that either. Man, something good. Okay, I think I'm tired of playing this game. I think I'm gonna put on Hyperdimension. Because I've been traveling all this time and I haven't gotten what I'm looking for, a new base or some technology to upgrade my ship. So I think I'm gonna switch games. You know, what time is it? Oh, it's actually earlier than I thought. Okay. Alright, let me save it, then I'm going to switch games. Rabbit website. What, is that what it's called? Is it just called Rabbit? Is it just something Rabbit? Rabbit website, huh? Oh. Wrapped on it. I didn't know that you could do that on I didn't know that you could do that. You could like watch stuff and then chat about it. Yeah, you could. Interesting. Okay, so could I go on there and like could I upload a video onto that and you and I could watch it and talk about it? Is that how it works? Oh, that sucks. Because if I could upload stuff, that would be awesome. Because I have things that people don't even watch anymore that I could upload and we can watch, and you can go, oh my God, I don't believe I've never watched this, like Exilian. Because that's something that me and my cousin talk about all the time, and he's like, dude, you know how many people have never seen something like this? I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, so if I have a Netflix or a Hulu account, we could watch stuff that's on there and chat about it while we're watching it. Okay. Alright. I'm going to have to make an account later then, because I don't think I have one for it yet. But yeah, I could do that. And yeah, I'll just remember. Oh, you know what? You should send me a, whenever you log back into your PlayStation, send me your username so I can add you, okay? Yeah, but is the Fatal Fury movie on YouTube and uncut? Because if it's uncut, I'm not. If it's censored, I'm not watching it. That pissed me off when that one day when I tried to watch it as on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I could tell it was censored. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna go and buy this because I was into it, like really into it when I first started watching it. Like the first 10 minutes of it, I was like, cool, and then it was like, huh? Why is this being censored? And it wasn't even anything all that bad. It's like, dude, really? I'm not even really talking about them showing I'm talking about like the violence. I could tell the violence was censored too. I'm like, dude, what the hell? But all right, if it's uncensored, cool. All right, so give me like maybe 5 minutes, John, and I'm gonna switch games out. I'm gonna put on Hyper Dimension unless you'd like me to play something else that I have. I mean, I could put on Senran Kagura or Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy Type O, Valkyria Chronicles. I could put on Fallout 4, which you probably don't want to see because you have it already. I could play Resident Evil 2 Revelations. You probably want to see that. I'm not playing Nier Automata for a while again because I love that game, but it pissed me off too at the same time. Transformers, King of Fighters, maybe. Guilty Gear. That's the old Guilty Gear. I'm not putting that on. Yeah, Nier is hard. I'm not even gonna lie to you. People, the critics are saying that it's so great, it's so awesome a game. I kind of understand why they say that, and from that perspective, it kind of is, because the plot and some things in there are so unique, it's not even funny. But
they paint B2 as the protagonist, but you only play her half of the time in the game. Actually, you only play her like maybe 1/3, not even 1/3. Yeah, you play her. Yeah, you do play her 1/3 of the game. Okay, maybe I'm getting this wrong. The male character, what's his name? I think it's 9S. You play him more than you play any of the other characters in this game, and they paint B2 as a protagonist. He is actually the protagonist. And see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, where they market the girl to us, the guys, but they force a male character on us. Because see, that's not the idea I had for this game. I thought she would be the main character. She isn't. He is. Although people would disagree with me, but the way I see it is, well, if I'm playing as him most of the game, he's the main character. It's that simple. Yeah, I really don't like 9S. He's like Shinji Ikari with a Japanese sword. It's like, really? He cries and moans and complains, and it's like, dude, you're either here to be, you're like this typical character, and you're probably put in here for the fangirls, if they're into this stuff, if they're into Nier Automata. So that's why I'm like, I can't stand that guy. I really can't. So every time I play that game, if I have to play him, I don't. I mean, I actually beat that game. I actually sat through all of that fun Ninja Gaiden action, because it's so hard, it's like Ninja Gaiden. Exactly. Yeah, A2 is in the game, and she's kind of like, I want to say she's a more badass version of B2, but they don't let you play her as much, because when you initially start this thing, John, you have to, I mean, they state that they want you to play the game and beat it up to a certain point and see all the endings, so that you can play any character you want after a certain point, because that's what you have to do. You have to play through a certain amount of endings so that you can select what character you want. Otherwise, you're going to be playing 1/3 of the time as B2, 1/3 of the time as A2, and half of the time as 9S. That's how Nier Automata works. And I'll give him, I can still give the game some credit, because with him, it's not hack and slash with him. With him, he has this hack feature where it's like a side scroll shooter version of the game, where you hack into the machines by, beating the little mini game, and you take control of them or you defeat them. So I'll give them credit, because Nier is very creative like that. Actually, Andy Bogard, I don't know. 9S is like Andy Bogard. I don't know. I have a little bit more respect for Andy Bogard. Just a little bit more. Even though I don't really like him, but I don't particularly hate him either. I mean, he is forever going to stand in his brother's shadow in the series. Forever. It's kind of like how Ken will always be in Ryu's shadow. No matter how much they try and build him up and make him seem like his own separate character, he will always be the guy behind the main character, the guy behind Ryu. He will always be behind Ryu. Alright, you're messing around. But yeah, let me go ahead and switch games. Just give me a second. Oh, I have to save it first. But I'll tell you this, John. The guy that I can't stand, and I don't think this guy is Fatal Fury specific. I think he might be in connection with like another game that's part of the whole King of Fighters series. But I cannot stand what's that loser's name? that has electricity as his element of attack. My cousin likes to use him, but I can't stand it when he plays him because he always says that "do you understand?" crap as his as his taunt. What is that guy's name? I can't think of that guy's name. But I cannot stand him. And he likes to spike his hair up like he's got some type of, I don't know what you call it, classic hairstyle. You know what I'm talking about, right? He wears like skin tight pants, black pants or jeans and a black shirt. And he's always like Kyo's partner. I can't remember what that dude's name is. Because every time I play like Capcom versus SNK, I love beating the crap out of him. No, it's not Yugi. But I'll know it when I hear it. What is that dude's name? Well, he's not the only guy I can't stand in stand there. I don't like Yamazaki either. Okay, cool. Yeah, when I turn on the next one, I'll know by then.